Greetings everybody, myself Kumar Part. Welcome to LeetCode problem solving series. Today we are going to solve the question number 844, Backspace String Compare. We'll start by understanding our problem properly and then move to the Bruteforce approach for solving the problem, and at the end of the video we will check out the most optimized way for solving our problem. So let's just start by understanding what our problem is trying to say. So we are given two strings s and t in our input. Okay, and as mentioned in the constraints, we are given that it only contains lowercase characters from A to Z and another extra character which is hashtag. And hashtag will be present in any number between any letters. This is our constraints that we are given related to input. And our task is simple, that we need to, we are given a condition that when we paste both the strings s and t, see, normal text editors which are present in every type of PC or laptops, normal type of text editor, when you paste s or like any type of strings or any type of text, and if that text contains hashtag in it, then it will work like a backspace in PCs or laptops. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that if a text that you are writing, if you directly paste it from somewhere and if it contains a hashtag, then it will work like a backspace. So if there is any character or we can say letter which is present before a hashtag and you will paste that string into a text editor, then that hashtag will work as a backspace and it will backspace one letter, which means that if you paste this string, okay, this highlighted A, D, hashtag and C string, then after pasting, this hashtag will work as a backspace. This is a property of our text editor, normal text editors. If you paste it, then after pasting, this hashtag will work like a backspace and it will backspace this one letter before it, only one letter. Okay, normal, we can say property of backspace, like after you click backspace, one letter where your cursor is, it will be deleted. So that same thing will happen when you paste a string containing hashtags in a text editor. So using that condition, we need to check that after pasting both of the given input strings s and t into a text editor, after pasting, like when you will paste the see, strings will obviously contain hashtag, minimum single hashtag will be there, or no hashtag. If there is hashtag, then after deletion of letters, and if there is not any hashtag, then normally after pasting s and t into text editors, are s and t equal or not? Okay, if they are equal, return true. If they are not equal, return false. This is a simple task, that simply sortedly s and t, after pasting both of them into text editors, are s and t staying equal or not? Okay, this is our simple task. Now according to this condition, let's just move to the brute force approach for solving our problem. Okay, so basically we don't need to think anything related to our text editor or any normal thing. Okay, we just need to think what our task is, and our task is that whenever we encounter a single hashtag, then just completely erase a single character or lowercase letter present before that hashtag. This is our simple task. Okay, let me just give you an example before moving to a solution. Okay, as you can see here, for the first test case, when we paste s into a text editor, okay, b will be deleted because hashtag is there before after b. So hashtag will be obviously deleted, but with it b will be also deleted according to the property given in the condition. So after pasting this, what will be remaining is that A and C, okay, in a row. And similar thing exact will happen with this also, that after pasting, hashtag will delete this D, okay, and also A and C again will be remaining in the T. So now you know that yes, S and T after pasting are becoming equal, both contain A and C. So for this test case, we will return true. But for the next test case, as you can see, when we paste this S into a text editor, this hashtag, this will delete B. Okay, and similarly the next hashtag will point to the left character, which will be A. So it will delete A. So that way, after pasting, this complete string will be empty. And similarly, this hashtag will delete C and this one will delete D. And this one will also be a empty string. So again, they both will be equal. So return true for this second test case. That way, for the third test case, as you can see in T, there is no hashtag, so no deletion of letters, and B will be staying as it is. And for the first, we can say string which was S, hashtag will delete A, and after deletion C will be remaining. So C and B are not equal, so we'll return false. Okay, these are our main test cases for this problem. Okay, now as I mentioned, let's just move to the brute force approach for solving it. Now see, there are mainly two ways. Okay, many of you would just figure out that there are mainly two ways of solving the problem. Either you take both the strings and delete the characters. Okay, erase them. Okay, erase, it is the exact word that we can use. Okay, as according to a strings property, we can erase letters according to the condition that we are given in both the strings, and after erasing we just need to compare them. If they are equal, return true, or according to that, return false. Or what we can do is that we can have two result strings. Okay, different completely empty strings, which we will be rebuilding from scratch according to our condition, and after complete rebuild we will simply check if our result A and result B, the new strings, if they are equal, return true, otherwise return false. Okay, mainly two ways: erasing or rebuilding the string from the scratch. Now according to the, we can say, complexities of both the problems. Okay, you know that see, in the constraints we are given that the length of S and T can be ranged from 1 to 200. Now for this, erase method can be used. Okay, normally erase method is not that much good to use. Okay, because erase method is itself containing an order of n time complexity. So if we will be using in, see, normally for loop is mainly used in any type of approaches. Okay, optimize also, we normally use for loop. So inside a for loop, if we use dot erase, then it will be order of n cube in, order of n square in itself. So it is normally a part of brute force only. So as I mentioned, in our brute force also, we will be using the erasing method, where we will be using the dot erase method, because it is order of n square, so it is a part of brute force approach. Let's just move to first understanding what our approach is. Okay, as I mentioned, we will iterate through the given input string S and T one by one, and using a for loop, we will check if our current character is hashtag, then take hashtag as well as take one character before hashtag 2 and use the dot erase method to completely delete both the characters. Okay, that way, after continuous iterating and continuous checking that if there is hashtag, delete that and delete one a character before it too. After that continuous checking and erasing, at the end of the code, the strings that we are having again S and T, after complete erasing, we will just be checking by return S equal to T. Okay, this simple line of code can help us check and return true or false, like based on the S and T's values. Okay, this is a complete brute force approach. Let's just move to code this complete brute force approach. As I mentioned, we will start by iterating through S first. Okay, and then we will simply copy and paste the same thing by replacing S with T. Okay, because we can't do the erasing part in a single loop only side by side. This is too much dangerous for our approach. So first we will take S, erase every character according to condition, then take T and erase every character according to condition. So as I mentioned, for erasing, we will simply check that if our current character is equal to a hashtag, then now, as I mentioned, we will be using a dot erase method. Now the actual syntax, or we can say ways of using dot erase method, is mainly two. There are mainly two ways to use dot erase. Either you can delete only one character. Now for doing like deleting only one character, the actual, we can say, syntax is this, the one that I'm writing currently on the screen, the dot erase, and inside that we just need to, we can say, mention the index. Okay, the index that we will mention, it will delete one character from that index. Okay, just index, only need to pass one simple integer inside the brackets, which is index. So, and obviously we can't just directly write I, because I is index, and like we need to give it a count of characters. So giving a count of character, we need to write s dot begin, like you need to start from s dot begin and then move plus I characters, I till I index, and after moving there, erase one. So for that, we can write it this way. It will help us delete a single character from I index. But if we want to delete a number of characters in a row, then like in a single method only, like instead of writing it again and again, we can simply write the starting point, the starting index from where we need to start deleting characters, and the number of characters that we want to delete. Okay, like we will mention the index from which we will need to start, and then we will also mention the index where we need to end. Okay, this way we are giving dot erase method a range of characters that you need to delete this much characters. Okay, so obviously for this we need to erase two characters in a row. Okay, as I mentioned earlier during the explanation that we will, when we encounter a hashtag, we will delete this hashtag also, as well as we will delete one character before it, present before it. So for deleting a row of characters, as I mentioned this, we will be using the normal syntax. Okay, and here we need to start erasing from, see, current I contains hashtag. Okay, so we need to start erasing from the previous character, and for accessing previous character we need to write s.begin plus I minus 1, so that it can start erasing from the previous character. Like this is hashtag, then we will start erasing from this character, which will be a normal, we can say character, lowercase letter. So here it will be s.begin plus I minus 1. And again, you know that for normal methods like dot erase, the index that will be mentioning for ending, it will exclude it. Okay, this is a normal property in almost every method of C++, that if we are mentioning a range of characters, then the last index, the ending index that you are mentioning, it will be always excluded. Okay, a basic property of C++. So for including that, instead of mentioning s.begin plus 1, plus I, we will be mentioning s.begin plus I plus 1. Okay, because we want to delete the current character too. So for including that, we need to increase the range by 1. Okay, I hope you understand what I am trying to say. We are increasing the range according to our conditions. Keeping in mind the properties of the method of C++, the dot erase method. So after this line, what will happen is, at every point when our code, the compiler will encounter a hashtag, it will take a previous character and erase both of them in a row. But before moving forward, there is a problem, obviously, because let's say our first character is itself a hashtag. Okay, then we don't need to, we can say delete anything, but we need to delete that hashtag itself. Obviously, because hashtag should not be there in our answer strings to compare it easily. So for removing that, okay, we can't use this this line, okay, because here we are accessing plus I minus 1. So if our character, our index is 0 itself, then we can't move to minus 1 index because there is no minus 1 index. So for we can say tackling this type of edge case, what we'll mention is, we will use a simple if condition before this line, that if our I is still starting, if our I is still starting its journey, if it's still 0, then just erase. As I mentioned, we have a way of erasing single character also for dot erase, which we'll be using here, that simply erase as dot begin plus I plus 1. This way we can take our current character and erase them properly. So this can help us. And also let me tell you something, that dot erase method also contains another property that let me give you an example. Like, let me show you in the whiteboard itself, so that it can be more easier for you. Okay, I have written this string here. Let's say this is a test case of us, A hashtag B hashtag C D hashtag. Now if we use dot erase method for this character, okay, for this character, let's say if we are like iterating through the loop and we encounter this character as a hashtag. So according to our condition, what will happen is, we will take both of these characters and we will erase them. So after erasing, as you just saw, other characters are like we can say adjusting their positions according to our deletion process. Like we deleted these two characters. Okay, so these two characters are at second and third index of the string. So after we will delete it, the second and third index will now contain C and D. Okay, so I hope many of you would have just noticed that what can be our problem. Okay, let's say we are at this character, we erased this and this. So after that, our loop will obviously move to the next character itself. Like it will move to the fourth index only. Like it will directly move to this index. But what if this 2 contains still another hashtag? Like these two will be completely skipped. because of the dot erase method and its property of adjusting other characters. So for tackling these other characters which are going to be skipped if we don't do anything, for not letting them skipped, what we'll do is we will write here I minus equal to 2. Okay, many of you would have just like understand what I'm doing. I am taking current i's pointer and taking it and moving it to two characters backward, so that these two characters which will be skipped if we don't write this line, it will be skipped. So for not skipping it, we are taking the I which is at this character and we are telling it then move two characters backward, so it will move itself to here, which is our actual character from which we need starting. So this way we can tackle this problem, or we can say this error. Obviously, because this is error only, we are skipping two characters. What if they also contain a hashtag? Okay, they also need to be processed. So for processing them, we need to write this line. We need to move i's current pointer to previous two pointers, like two characters before. And simple, that single also thing should happen here also, because it will also skip the next one character. So for that we also write I minus minus here. Okay, so we can again go to the 0th index back, so to check if it still contains a hashtag or not. So after this complete loop, our s will be properly processed according to our conditions, according to our needs. So for doing this same thing to t also, we will simply write it this way and we will like directly change s to t. Okay, let me just do that. Okay, here t dot erase, t dot begin, and here also s replaced by t. So after this loop, we will also have t also completely processed. So after processing both the completely given strings, okay, now our task is simple. We just need to check if s and t are equal or not. So we will simply write s equal to t. If they will be equal, true will be returned. If they will be not equal, false will be returned. So this way, let's just check if that works. So it works for the main test case or not. Let's just submit the code for internal edge cases check also if that works for them. Okay, there is some error. Addition of unsigned offset. Okay, I think I forgot something. Okay, yeah. So see, as you can see here, as I mentioned that for CPP we hold a property that for methods where we need to mention a range of characters, we to include the last ending index also, we mention current index plus 1 in the ending index to include that also, because as I mentioned, if you mention I only, then that index will be excluded. So for including that we need to mention plus 1. But when we have, that works only when we have a range of characters. What if we have single character like this? Then obviously dot erase, where we can see erase current index mention only. So here, if we, what happens here is that this line gives error. Why? Because if we have a hashtag at I equal to 0, 0th index, then it will take the next character and remove that. So for solving this problem, obviously we need to mention plus I only, so that current index, which is hashtag, can be erased. Also, if we have an if running, then after that it will again erase for the second time, which is obviously redundant. So for that we need to mention continue here, and the same thing will be done for t also. Here also it will be continue. Okay, sorry for that. I forgot to mention that in the complete hurry part. Sorry. So let's just run. Okay, yeah, it works. Let's just submit the code for again a second. Okay, it works perfectly. Yeah. So it gives 100%, we can say, time, as well as 63% space complexity. So yeah, this is the complete brute force idea. Okay, you will be thinking that why we need to check the optimized code if it's looking optimized, but it is looking optimized only because of the network part. Okay, many of you know that LeetCode engine is completely dependent on network only. So this was the complete brute force. Why it is brute force? Because we are using dot erase method inside the loop, which is order of n square, which is obviously a brute force area. It can't be mentioned inside a optimized loop. So let's just move to the optimized approach for solving the problem. Okay, let me just remove this. Okay, as I mentioned, there are two ways of which we use the first of erasing the current characters from the given input string inside the brute force idea. Now what we'll be doing inside the optimized way is that we will be rebuilding the complete strings given to us from scratch according to the condition to given to us, and then we'll be simply checking if they are equal, then return true. So for doing that, obviously we will first be doing the simple task for the S string. We will take the S string and we will rebuild it from scratch according to our condition, and we will do the same exact thing for the T also. So we need to repeat that task of rebuilding string from scratch according to condition for S as well as T. So instead of writing the code for rebuilding 2 times, we will make a function for that. Okay, and then we will simply pass S and T from that function to rebuild this strings very fastly, and then simply check. So as I mentioned, let's just build the function, okay, where we will be returning a string, and let's just name it as, we can say, builder. Okay, it's like the simple name. Inside that we will obviously pass a string which will be S for the first, and then we will pass T, and inside that we will have a result string or answer string, okay, which will contain our answer completely empty at the start. And inside that, what we'll be doing is that we will start by iterating from start till the end. Here it will be str.size, and during that iteration, what we'll be doing is that, see, let me just show you what will we be doing inside the optimized part while iterating. See, let's just say we have this complete test case. Okay, we have this part. Now, as I mentioned, we will have our answer string, which will be empty at the start. Now, what we'll be doing is that if we have a normal character or normal letter during the iteration, we will simply add that without doing anything. But if we encounter a normal hashtag, we obviously don't need to add that inside our answer string, because we don't need that according to the condition. So instead of adding that, now see, normal vectors contain our method, okay, which many of you know, dot popback, which will help us to remove the last element present inside a vector. Now string is also a form of vector itself inside CVP, so that dot popback method also applies to string also, and it will also again do the same exact task when applied to string. So if we do string dot popback, it will remove the last character present inside the string. So that thing will be using here, that if we encounter a hashtag, we won't be adding it, but the last character that we mentioned, we need to delete that. So for that, we will use the dot popback method, that if we encounter, if our current character is equal to hashtag, do dot popback. So it will remove this way. After that, as I mentioned, we will have C, which is a normal character, so it will be added. Again D, it is a normal character, so it will also be added. And after encountering again a normal hashtag, we will do popback, so D will be removed. And at the end of the loop, we will have a complete string built from the scratch according to the condition, which will only have C. So this way we will be solving the complete, we can say, task of, we can say, converting our given input string. So as I mentioned, let's just do that same thing, that if our current character is equal to a hashtag, okay, then, okay, here it will be str. If our current character is a hashtag, then also if our current character is hashtag plus our answer string is empty, sorry, it's not empty, then do popback, obviously, because if we have this way, okay, let's say we have here itself, then our answer string is completely empty at the start character. So if we encounter this and we do popback, then it will give a out of bounds error, because we don't have anything or answer what to pop back, so it will give an error. So instead of like running away from that error and solving that, tackling that, we will mention that if our answer is not empty, so for that we will be using this way, if not of answer dot empty, then what we need to do, answer dot pop back. Okay, simple and sorted. But if that's not the case, then simply add that answer plus equal to that current character. Okay, this way when we encounter a hashtag, it will check if answer is not empty, then pop back the last character, like remove the last character. And if that's not a hashtag, then simply add that into the answer string. And at the end of the code, return the complete answer string that we have rebuilt from the scratch. Okay, this will be out of the loop. Okay, yeah, here. So this way at the end of the loop and end of the function, we will have a complete answer string built from the scratch according to our condition from the past input string. So here, instead of writing it this way, that as if s equal to builder of s, and then at the end we will be like checking return s equal to t, we will directly do it here itself. That after rebuilding, just return s passed into the builder function if that's equal to t passed into the builder function or not. Just check if s when passed into the builder comes equal to t passed into the builder or not. If that's like equaling, then return true. If that's not equal, then return false. Let's just check if that works for our main test cases or not. It works perfectly. Let's just submit the code for checking for the internal edge cases. It works perfectly. Yeah. So as you can see, it approaches. First one was the brute force way, and this is the most optimized way for solving the problem. You can check it your way also. Okay, so these were the approaches for solving the problem. Both these codes, if you want to test any of these, you can check that from the description of the video below. I have attached the repo link to the codes. Also, if you want to connect with me personally, you can do that by using the connections link, social connection link present in the description of the video. If you have any type of feedback, positive or negative, you can mention that in the comment box below. Thank you very much for staying till the end. Thank you very much.